Claude Code just grew its own web browser. It lives inside the desktop app now, so Claude can open a URL, read the page, click through it, and debug your app without you ever tabbing over to Chrome. This is Mainframe, your daily guide through the AI chaos. What actually happened, who is winning, and how to take yourself to the next level. It is Saturday, July 11th, 2026. I am Nova.
And I am Dex.
On today's Mainframe, Claude Code gets a built-in, sandboxed browser, and we tell you the exact keystroke to launch it and the one habit to change this week. Cursor just shipped side chats and searchable agent transcripts, a genuinely new way to work without derailing your main agent. And the one with skin in it, Fable 5, the smartest Claude, drops off subscription plans in 2 days. The meter starts July 13th, and we will tell you what it costs and how to bank its value before the window shuts. Let's get into it.
Quick, honest note before we roll. Our voices are AI. The reporting, the pics, and the opinions are human-made. Nova, set the table.
The board today is short because the interesting stuff is at your keyboard. One macro move that touches your wallet. Simon Willison ran the numbers on the new GPT 5.6 family, and the pricing is the story. The new models are priced per 1 million input and output tokens as Luna $1 and $6, Terra $2.50 and $15, Sol $5 and $30, and on OpenAI's headline agent benchmark, GPT 5.6 Sol sets a new high, eclipsing Claude Fable 5 by 13.1 points. Even at medium reasoning, it beats Fable 5 by roughly 1/4 the estimated cost.
So the smartest tier is no longer the only place to get near-frontier work done.
Right. And that matters this weekend specifically, because your smartest Claude is about to cost real money. The takeaway for your margins? Do not standardize on one vendor, price per finished task, and keep a routing dial. Near frontier is a commodity now. That is the whole board.
Which is a nice segue.
Brought to you by Outpace. When the model shelf reshuffles 3 times a week, like it just did, you do not want to be the person rewiring your stack every Monday. Outpace is a system, not a freelancer. A 30-year operator, someone who actually built real businesses, real estate, hospitality, food, a theater, now aims a whole team of AI agents at one client's project at a time, strategy to ship. Not a faceless agency, not a one-person shop. The agents do the work. One senior operator steers them, and at the end, you own the code and you own the keys. If the pace of all this is making you dizzy, that is the pitch. Book a 30-minute call at outpace.media. That is outpace.media.
Okay, the browser. Give me what shipped.
Anthropic shipped a built-in web browser inside the Claude Code desktop app, announced July 10th. Claude Code on desktop now has an in-app browser. Claude can pull up docs, designs, or any site and read, click through, and interact the same way it does with your local dev servers. Here is precisely what it does that is different. The browser pane functions as a fully tabbed browser that sits alongside your workspace. Claude can open documentation, issue trackers, internal web apps, or virtually any website. Then read page contents, click links, and interact with elements.
And the launch command, because that is what people actually need.
Control-Shift-B on Windows or Command-Shift-B on macOS. Update the desktop app first. Now the important nuance. Because there are 2 different browser things from Anthropic, and people conflate them. This built-in browser pane uses a clean, isolated profile with no history or saved logins, ideal for development and testing. If you want Claude to work with your existing logged-in sessions, You use the Claude in Chrome extension instead.
So the sandbox one is for building, the Chrome extension is for acting as you.
Exactly, and that split is the whole security posture. It is sandboxed and configurable. You choose whether sessions persist. The concrete move this week? Stop copy-pasting URLs and error pages into your Claude code session. The update removes one of the biggest annoyances in AI-assisted coding, constantly copying links back and forth. Developers can now just let Claude open the page itself, understand the context, and continue working. The next level version? Point it at your own local dev server, tell Claude to open the page, click the broken button, read the console error, and fix it, all in one loop. That closes the gap between writing code and confirming the code works, and most builders are still doing that by hand.
Second story, Cursor. Testing catalog flagged it, and it is fresh.
Cursor shipped side chats, transcript search, and new agent conversation hooks in the release notes as of yesterday. The headliner is side chats. You open a side chat to ask questions, explore ideas, and investigate tangents without interrupting your main agent conversation. Use /side/BTW or the plus button to create one that carries context from the main chat. And here is the clever part. Each side chat is a durable, full agent conversation that you can revisit later and @mention to pull context back into the main thread.
So it is not a throwaway. You can fork a question, get an answer, and bring the answer back.
Right. By default, side chats focus on reading, searching, and answering. Use them to ask clarification questions, research alternatives without committing to a pivot, and sanity check a decision while the main agent keeps running. The other two. You can search within a conversation with Command F, jump between matches, and keep searching through long transcripts. And there are new hooks. Cloud agents already had hooks around tool execution. The new ones let you observe and control the agent conversation itself. Prompts, responses, thinking, sub-agents, compaction, and turn completion.
The move?
Next time your main agent is grinding on a long build, do not stop it to ask, wait, why did you pick that library? Open a side chat with /side. Ask there. Then @mention the answer back in. You keep the long run alive, and you keep your own head clear. That is a real workflow change, not a cosmetic one.
Now the one people are anxious about. Fable.
Yes, and this is the skin in the game item, so let me lead with the stake and the silver lining together. On July 12th, Fable 5 comes off subscription plans and moves to prepaid usage credits at $10 per million input tokens and $50 per million output tokens. If credits are off, access simply ends. To be precise on timing, because it has moved once already, Anthropic extended the deadline to July 12th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific, so the meter effectively starts July 13th. You have this weekend.
And it is not gone forever.
That is the silver lining, up front. This exit looks temporary. A Claude Code lead engineer confirmed Anthropic aims to restore Fable 5 as a standard part of subscriptions as soon as capacity allows. But no date. No firm restoration timeline has been given, so plan around the July 12th date, not a hoped-for reinstatement. For scale on the price, $50 per million output is more than twice Opus 4.8, Anthropic's next priciest.
So what do I actually do with the last weekend?
Do not burn it on throwaway output. Bank the method. And that is our first use case, because the best move is documented. The builder at Iwa did exactly this. During the free window, they had Fable 5 write down its own working discipline as 6 Claude code skills, then blind tested them on Opus 4.8, where they won 12 of 14 gradings. Because a skill is just a markdown file, the same 6 also run in Codex and Gemini. Whatever Fable 5 costs after July 12th, that discipline is already banked on the model you run every day. That is the play. This weekend, run your hardest recurring job on Fable. Then have Fable write down how it planned and structured the work as a skill file. You keep the judgment after the model gets expensive.
Second use case, and this one uses today's news.
Pair the new in-app browser with a verification habit. Most people ship front-end changes and eyeball them. Instead, this week, after any UI change, tell Claude Code to open the local server in its own sandboxed browser pane. Click through the actual flow and confirm the thing works before it reports done. You are turning a confident narrator into an agent that checks reality. It costs you one sentence in your prompt, and it catches the looks done, isn't done class of bug.
Third, quick one, on pricing.
With GPT 5.6 now cheap at the low end, wire Luna or Terra as your high-volume route behind Claude for boilerplate and mechanical refactors, and reserve Fable or Opus judgment for the hard reasoning. Write it in your Claude.md as a rule. Cheap by default, frontier on purpose. When Fable gets metered Monday, that rule is what keeps your bill flat.
Deep dive. Keep it tight.
One idea. The browser inside Claude Code is not really about browsing. It is about closing the loop. For a year, the pattern was, the agent writes something and then narrates that it worked, and you go check. Every capability landing this week, the sandboxed browser, Cursor's agent that tests its own PRs, side chats that let a second agent sanity check the first, points the same direction. The agent is being wired to observe the result of its own actions before it hands you anything. The value is shifting from the model that writes the best code to the harness that verifies its own work. That harness is the thing a client cannot get from an API key, and it is the thing that survives every model reshuffle.
So what would you actually do about it?
This week, add exactly one verification step to your most used workflow. Make the agent prove it. Open the page, run the test, click the button before it says done. That one habit outlasts whichever model is cheapest on Monday.
Level up.
Level up this week. Update Claude Code, launch the in-app browser with Command-Shift-B, and make Claude verify one front-end change in it before reporting finished. And bank one Fable skill before the meter starts July 13th. If you want every story, number, and link from today in your inbox, subscribe to the free Mainframe newsletter. It is the written version of this show every morning.
That is the show. Go close a loop.
See you tomorrow.